Stepmother made us sleep in the basement for years because we weren't real family. When our father passed away, my brother inherited the house and made her move to the basement. She lasted 2 weeks before leaving forever. Growing up, life was pretty normal until I was 8. That's when we lost Mom to breast cancer. Dad tried his best, but you could tell he was drowning in grief and responsibilities. Enter Margaret, my stepmother, when I was 11. The basement saga didn't start immediately. Margaret was smart about it. First came the little comments about how my brother Kieran, then 13, and I, then 11, were reminders of the past and how we needed our own space. She'd make snide remarks about how I was just like my mother, and not in a good way. Dad, still walking on eggshells trying to make his new marriage work, nodded along like this made perfect sense. Then came the suggestions about how our rooms would be perfect for other things. Her craft room, a guest room for her family. The kids would be more comfortable downstairs, she'd say, where they can have their privacy. One day, we came home from school to find our stuff being moved to the basement. Dad helped carry the boxes, looking uncomfortable, but silent. Let me paint you a picture of our new bedroom. Bare concrete walls with exposed insulation that would sometimes fall into our beds. A single window well that collected dead leaves and gave us a lovely view of people's feet walking by. 2 twin beds separated by a hanging sheet for privacy. The washing machine became our alarm clock, and the furnace our nightlight. In winter, we could see our breath. In summer, everything felt damp and smelled like mold. Margaret's rules were crystal clear. We were only allowed upstairs between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. No exceptions. Our old rooms, her craft room sat unused most of the time, and the guest room never hosted a single person in all those years. We had to eat in the basement unless there were visitors. And even then, one wrong move would get us sent back down. She was particularly hard on me. Girls need to learn proper manners, she'd say, making me clean the entire house while she watched TV. When I started developing as a teenager, she accused me of trying to attract attention and made me wear baggy clothes. She'd throw away any makeup or girly things my friends gave me, saying they weren't appropriate for basement dwellers. Kieran tried to stand up to her once when he was 17. She cried to Dad about how we were trying to come between them and how she just wanted us to be a family. Dad, torn between his new wife and his kids, would give us sad looks but never took our side. We learned to keep quiet and count the days until we could leave. The game changer came when I met Julia in college. She became my best friend and the first outsider who saw our situation for what it was. The first time she came over, Margaret made us sit in the basement because girls shouldn't have visitors upstairs. Julia left crying that day. Not for herself, but for us. Then Dad got sick. Lung cancer. Aggressive. Even during his last months, Margaret tried controlling our access to him. He needs rest, she'd say, blocking the stairs. We had to sneak up when she was out to spend time with him. During one of his lucid moments, he made a decision that would change everything. He left the house to Kieran. I'll never forget Margaret's face when the lawyer read the will. Dad had split his savings 3 ways, but the house? That went solely to Kieran. Her mask slipped for just a moment, showing pure rage before she caught herself and went back to playing the grieving widow. Kieran waited exactly 1 month after Dad's passing. He called a family meeting in the living room, the first time we'd been allowed to sit on the good furniture in years. With a calmness that I now realize he'd been practicing, he handed Margaret an envelope. These are the new house rules, he said. You have 2 choices. Either move to the basement or move out. You have 48 hours to decide. She screamed about family loyalty, about her sacrifices, about how we were ungrateful brats. Kieran just sat there, while I filmed everything on my phone. Julia's idea, just in case. She chose the basement, probably thinking we'd cave. We didn't. Kieran had all her precious furniture moved down there. Her craft supplies, basement, her designer clothes, basement closet. We gave her the same space heater she'd given us, the same cheap shelving units, the same reasonable access to the upstairs. She lasted exactly 2 weeks. The letter she left was epic. 4 pages about how we were cruel and inhumane, and how she was moving to her sisters in Ohio. The irony of her being unable to handle 2 weeks of what we endured for years was completely lost on her.